Have you ever really reflected on the core factors that make up the quality of your relationships, and which aspects are truly the most important? Is it trust, mutual respect, emotional health, or even the ability to recognize warning signs so we can take action before things turn negative? Today, we'll not only explore the foundational elements of a healthy relationship, but also identify the warning signs that can help you assess when a relationship may be negatively impacting your mental and emotional well-being. First, think about the impact of relationships on your mental health. Healthy relationships provide a sense of safety and comfort, while relationships that are stress-gratificating, anxiety-inducing, or depressing can directly affect our psychological balance. These are not just fleeting feelings. Mental health experts emphasize that ongoing stress can diminish the quality of life, affect our ability to make sound decisions, and weaken our physical health as well. Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus, all emphasize the importance of inner peace as a treasure to be protected. This is the foundation that helps us maintain balance, face challenges, and handle them rationally. However, Stoicism does not mean avoiding or rejecting relationships. Instead, this philosophy suggests a calm approach to challenges while maintaining a clear view of ourselves and the situations around them. Protecting mental health not only involves regulating emotions, but also responding positively to changes in our relationships. To do this, we need to clearly recognize the warning signs when a relationship begins to undermine our mental and physical health. This could include insomnia, prolonged stress, or even digestive issues, physical manifestations of the body reacting to the imbalance in our lives. Stoicism also teaches us not to underestimate these physical health signs, as our body and mind are closely interconnected. A healthy relationship not only brings inner peace but also supports the development of both body and mind, helping each other overcome obstacles. On the contrary, a toxic relationship will quickly wear down your health from the inside out, affecting your energy, sleep, and recovery ability. So how can we apply these principles in practice? Listen to both your mind and body. When you notice any signs indicating a decline in health or imbalance, it might be time to reassess the relationships around you. This doesn't mean abandoning or avoiding them, but rather reorienting them so that they genuinely bring you positivity and energy. Stoicism encourages us to train ourselves to be a solid support for others without losing our dignity and inner strength. To create positive change, the first step is to protect your own mental health, sometimes requiring difficult decisions like limiting or even cutting ties with people who consistently cause emotional harm. This is not an act of selfishness but a commitment to self-care, a way of asserting the right to live peacefully and free from negative influences. Creating a healthy environment where we can grow and feel nurtured is the foundation for maintaining mental health and building a meaningful and moral life. Around us, there are always people ready to support us, whether friends, family, or mental health professionals who can help us rebuild and strengthen our will. True friends and positive relationships are invaluable sources of encouragement, leading us toward better things and reaffirming the values we pursue. In these relationships, we find empathy and understanding, which boosts our self-confidence and trust in life. By prioritizing these positive connections and choosing to limit negative influences, we not only protect our minds but also enhance our ability to live a harmonious and meaningful life. By nurturing supportive relationships, we remind ourselves of the importance of kindness, peace, and virtue, core values that shape a life worth living. With every step of selectively building healthier relationships, we reaffirm our commitment to long-term happiness and well-being. Second, a continuous lack of respect. A continuous lack of respect in a relationship can quickly erode the foundation of trust and safety, two essential elements for any healthy connection. This isn't just about rudeness. A lack of respect is a sign that the fundamental values in a relationship are being challenged. Behaviors such as frequent interruptions, harsh criticism, or deliberately ignoring the emotional needs of others are some of the most noticeable sins of disrespect. Over time, these behaviors can deeply harm someone's self-esteem, making them feel unsafe and potentially leading to mental instability. When faced with this situation, setting boundaries becomes an act of self-protection. It's a measure not only to avoid further harm, but also to assert our own value and the right to be respected. It's not easy to decide to distance yourself from a relationship, but sometimes it's necessary to protect your peace of mind and self-esteem. This is not a sign of weakness, but an act of courage and self-respect. Establishing and maintaining clear boundaries is crucial for any relationship that can survive and grow sustainably. For when we define what's acceptable and how others treat us, we are affirming that respect is not optional. This is how we protect and nurture our personal strength, while creating space for authentic relationships where respect forms the foundation of trust and empathy. You become more appreciative of those who treat us with sincerity and respect, and gradually realize that we deserve relationships of greater value. It's time to rethink what truly matters, the standards we set for ourselves, and the quality of life we want to build. Third, value incompatibility. When we enter relationships with deeply different values, this mismatch can lead to conflicts and disagreements that are not easily resolved. This is not merely about differing preferences or habits, but about fundamental clashes that touch on the core of each person's character and value system. If these differences are not acknowledged and addressed, they can shake our sense of identity and inner peace. Seneca once said that every action should be evaluated based on how it contributes to our life. The question then is, do relationships with people who have incompatible values truly enhance our lives? When you constantly have to adjust yourself to accept or adapt to opposing values, this can gradually lead to self-doubt. You may begin to feel lost, question your personal values, and even your self-worth. Sarah was a woman passionate about her career and highly valued work-life balance. She believed that happiness didn't just come from success in her job, but also from family relationships and personal growth. Her boyfriend Jake, however, placed career above all else. He worked tirelessly, never having time for Sarah. Their relationship began to strain when Sarah realized she couldn't share her important values with Jake. She wanted a balanced life with time for family and herself, but Jake was only focused on work. And after several unsuccessful conversations, Sarah had to make the difficult decision: end the relationship to protect the values she cherished. Although she loved Jake, Sarah knew she couldn't stay in a relationship where their values were incompatible. Breaking up was a crucial step for her to reconnect with herself and live according to what she truly believed in. Afterwards, Sarah found peace and joy focusing on her career, family, and loved ones. Sarah's story is a testament to the fact that when values don't align, letting go can be a necessary step to protect happiness and personal growth. Conflicts over values can create prolonged tension, affecting both physical and mental health, making you feel alienated from yourself and those around you. This is why setting boundaries from the outset is crucial. When you know and hold on to your personal values, you will easily recognize when they are being challenged in a relationship. Sometimes this requires making difficult decisions, such as minimizing or even ending relationships with people whose values and viewpoints are in deep conflict with yours. This decision, though hard, is a way to protect your authenticity and integrity. By living according to your values and principles, you not only safeguard your mental health, but also create a positive environment where you can be true to yourself. Moreover, by sticking to your principles, you open the door to deeper, more meaningful relationships based on a genuine alignment of values. Fourth, emotional exhaustion. Conversations no longer bring joy, and meetings become obligations rather than opportunities to connect and share. This leaves us feeling drained day after day. A simple example is when you used to look forward to a meeting or a party with friends, but now the feeling of emptiness and exhaustion takes over every time you prepare to join. This is when you need to ask yourself whether these relationships are truly adding value to your life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminded us that life is finite and we need to live each day as if it were our last. Maintaining inner peace and avoiding negativity is crucial. When relationships no longer foster personal growth and instead pull us down, they become another major obstacle on the path to finding purpose and passion. Key is to recognize emotional exhaustion before it becomes a more serious issue. Don't be afraid to let go of unhealthy relationships. This is an act of self-care, a necessary step to protect your mental health and maintain balance in your life. Surround yourself with people who can uplift, inspire, and help you grow, because such relationships are the positive energy that drives you forward. By making the right choices, you not only protect your mental well-being, but also create an environment that helps you achieve your dreams and live life fully. Fifth, manipulation. Manipulation can take many forms, from using emotions to control someone's actions to covertly controlling behavior without revealing true intentions. When we are manipulated, our freedom to think and make decisions is infringed upon, gradually diminishing our ability to judge clearly and leaving us feeling confused and uncertain. So one of the most severe consequences of manipulation is the breakdown of trust and self-esteem. When someone exploits emotions to manipulate another, they not only weaken the connection between the two people, but also make the victim feel insecure about themselves. Over time, these actions can erode the psychological health of the victim, leading to self-doubt, loss of confidence, and an inability to make sound decisions. Furthermore, over time, manipulation can create a toxic environment where honesty and integrity are no longer respected. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "Do not let anyone manipulate your soul." This serves as a reminder to maintain authenticity and control over our own lives. We are not pawns in someone else's game. We have the right to make decisions for ourselves and protect our well-being. When we recognize signs of manipulation, it's crucial to take proactive steps to set firm boundaries and, if necessary, remove manipulative relationships from our lives. This is an essential action to preserve mental health, protect self-respect, and maintain respect for both ourselves and others. Manipulation, whether emotional or behavioral, should have no place in meaningful and positive relationships. By taking this stance, we nurture connections that are honest, supportive, and empowering. Sixth, lack of trust. Trust is the foundation of all relationships, whether in friendship, love, family, or work. Without trust, these relationships gradually become fragile and prone to collapse. When trust is absent, we live in a constant state of alertness, unable to relax or open up. Every word, every action is met with suspicion, and small misunderstandings can quickly escalate into major conflicts. This creates a tense, uncomfortable atmosphere where everyone feels unsafe and vulnerable. The lack of trust also hinders the development of the relationship. Vulnerability, a key element for building deep and authentic connections, cannot exist without trust. It cannot open up and share our true feelings, worries, dreams, or fears if we are always living in doubt and insecurity. This makes relationships superficial, devoid of genuine connection. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "No one can bring you peace that you don't create for yourself." This reminds us that inner peace is a prerequisite for building trust with others. But if we do not have peace within ourselves, it becomes difficult to create and maintain trusting relationships. There's a story about Mark, who works at a large tech company where competition and pressure are constant. He started a relationship with Lisa, a colleague at the company. At first, everything was smooth. They often met, chatted, and shared joyful moments together. However, as Mark began focusing more on work and became busy with major projects, he noticed a shift in Lisa's behavior, which she started to distance herself, no longer sharing as much as before, and frequently kept important information from him. Mark felt a growing sense of unease. He suspected Lisa was hiding something, but he couldn't bring himself to ask her directly for fear of damaging their relationship. The feeling of distrust began to creep into his mind. One evening, after a heated argument, Lisa confessed that she had been meeting with another man and an old colleague while still maintaining her relationship with Mark. The feelings of betrayal and mistrust left Mark feeling lost. He couldn't understand how things had gotten so far when they had once been so happy together. Mark and Lisa's story is a clear example of how the absence of trust can deeply affect a relationship. Mark found it hard to focus on his work, feeling anxious and uncertain with every decision. In an urban world where competition, work, and personal life are often pushed aside, the lack of trust only made their relationship more complicated. Mark realized that a relationship cannot truly thrive without mutual respect and trust. and ultimately he decided to end things to regain peace of mind. This story reflects a common reality in big cities, where life is hectic and complicated, making trust a fragile and easily broken element. When trust is lacking, the first step is to acknowledge and face the issue. This may require us to be open and honest about our insecurities and doubts. Sometimes a frank conversation or support from a mediator may be the first step toward mending the broken trust. Restoring trust is not easy, but it is a necessary path to rebuild the relationship. When trust is restored, the relationship becomes safer, more stable, and more valuable. It is where we can truly be ourselves without fear and share the deepest parts of ourselves with one another. 7th, any form of abuse, whether physical, emotional, verbal, or psychological, is a serious violation of the Stoic principles that prioritize dignity and mutual respect between individuals. According to Stoicism, such disrespectful behavior fundamentally undermines the very meaning of respect and virtue. The philosophy shared by thinkers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius suggests that being in toxic relationships is in direct opposition to living a life of virtue and balance. Stoic teachings emphasize that inner peace and spiritual harmony are the ultimate goals for true happiness. Ending toxic relationships is not just about self-care, but also a critical step in maintaining your inner peace and integrity. It is a fundamental move not only to protect yourself from further harm, but also to affirm your own worth. Ending a relationship that lacks self-respect and shared values can be incredibly difficult, especially when emotional dependence may lead to further abuse. It is crucial to seek support from friends, family, or professionals to help you navigate this challenging time. Choosing to end these kinds of relationships, you are opting for a path of healing and reclaiming your self-respect. It becomes an opportunity to rebuild your life on the foundation of self-worth and mutual respect. When we talk about how we treat each other and interact with others, taking a strong stance against cruelty shows our commitment to higher moral values and our relentless pursuit of happiness and the respect that everyone deserves. 8th, lack of growth and support. Relationships that do not provide opportunities for growth, that do not encourage innovation and creativity, will quickly become stagnant and lack motivation. The absence of support not only makes us feel lost, but also limits our ability to fully realize our potential. When there is no one standing by to help or encourage us, we are easily swept into a cycle of frustration and helplessness. In today's urban life, where most people are busy with work, family, and social relationships, it is easy to overlook these important connections. A relationship that is merely about getting things done without sincere support or mutual encouragement will gradually deplete and become scarce. Each day we simply exist without truly living, without truly growing. Imagine a close friend or colleague with whom you once shared many joys, sorrows, and dreams. Over time, you realize that they no longer care about your growth. They don't offer encouragement when you need it, nor do they cheer you on when you're facing challenges. Even when you share new accomplishments, they only give a half smile without any positive feedback. Gradually, you begin to feel an invisible gap between the two of you, and you start to wonder if this relationship is truly helping your growth. But the lack of development and support doesn't just stop at personal relationships, it affects our entire life. Everyone has their own goals and aspirations, but without support from those around us, those goals become vague dreams, difficult to achieve. A healthy relationship, whether in work or in love, needs to create a space where each person can shine and push beyond their own limits. It not only helps us grow, but also fosters mutual development between both parties. When you feel that you're not receiving the support you need, it may be time to reevaluate that relationship. 9th, persistent selfish behavior. A healthy relationship requires continuous exchange where both parties can feel love, care, and sharing. But when one person in the relationship is always demanding to receive without giving, or only cares about personal gain without considering the feelings of what it creates a sense of lack and imbalancing. The other person will feel unappreciated, like a tool to satisfy the other's needs without receiving the proper reciprocation. This not only weakens the relationship but also affects the mental and emotional health of both individuals. When one person who constantly feels overlooked will gradually become disappointed and lose trust in a relationship, while the other may not even realize that their selfishness is slowly breaking down what was once a strong bond. The lack of understanding and consideration can make conversations tense, disrespectful, and lead to feelings of exhaustion and deep hurt. It's important to regularly check how we interact with those around us, especially in close relationships such as family, friends, and partners. If you notice that you are often prioritizing your own needs while neglecting the feelings of others, it's time to adjust your behavior. One way to do this is by actively listening to others, understanding their needs, and taking the time to share with them without expecting immediate reciprocity. When selfish behavior is recognized in a relationship, the first step is to have an honest conversation. This is the time to reassess both your and the other person's expectations and discuss what needs to change. If you cannot establish a fair and balanced dynamic, the relationship will not last. Sometimes setting clear and firm boundaries is necessary to protect yourself and ensure mutual respect. This not only helps maintain your individuality but also rebuilds respect and love within the relationship. No relationship is perfect, but if both parties are willing to give and take, every problem can be resolved. 10th, destructive communication. Communication is the key to the stability and quality of any relationship. However, when communication becomes a tool for criticism, judgment, or even sabotage, it can seriously harm the bond between individuals. A conversation where every word is a critique, sarcasm, or filled with negative attitudes not only hurts the other person but also weakens trust and respect, which are the foundation of any relationship. Consider an exchange in a family or workplace where each side only focuses on the flaws of the other rather than looking for ways to build and improve. Such communication doesn't just make people feel tired and frustrated, it creates emotional distance and alienation. Destructive words can make every attempt to connect feel meaningless, and over time they cause relationships to fall into separation. Therefore, it's important to recognize patterns of negative communication and actively change them. One of the first steps is to establish clear communication norms where respect and listening are prioritized. Instead of criticizing, we should aim to express our viewpoints constructively, focusing on solutions rather than problems. In tense situations, having a mediator or expert involved can also help steer the conversation in a more positive direction. Constructive communication is not just a tool to solve problems, but also a way to express care, understanding, and commitment to the relationship. It creates a safe environment where everyone feels respected and valued. When we change the way we communicate, we not only improve the relationship, but also strengthen the bond, helping everyone grow and progress together. 11. Neglecting personal needs. Every individual has unique needs, both physical and emotional, and when these needs are ignored and not respected, it creates a void in the relationship, making one feel overlooked and invisible. This is especially evident when someone continuously sacrifices their own interests, personal time, or even important boundaries just to please others. Over time, this feeling can make them feel insignificant, forgotten, and unappreciated. It doesn't only affect self-esteem, but also hinders their ability to live in alignment with their personal values and goals. They begin to doubt themselves because the relationship no longer reflects the things that matter most to them. When this happens, it's impossible to ignore the lack of balance in the relationship. We must actively set and protect our personal boundaries. Doing so not only helps maintain respect, but also protects our emotional and moral integrity. Sometimes, clearly expressing our needs can help others understand their importance, which can lead to rebuilding the relationship on a stronger foundation. If this issue remains unchanged, it may be time to reassess the relationship. Is it worth continuing to invest time and energy in? Sometimes, stepping back or ending a relationship that does not respect your personal needs can be the best choice to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Creating a space where respect and honesty can thrive is essential for building healthy and sustainable relationships. 12th, lack of shared responsibility. When two people share the burden, whether in work or in difficult situations, they contribute fairly and support each other in resolving problems. However, when one person shirks responsibility or fails to actively participate in resolving conflicts, this creates a noticeable imbalance. This lack of responsibility not only harms the relationship, but also creates feelings of injustice, damages trust, and causes great disappointment. The relationship becomes one-sided when one person constantly bears the brunt of the burden, while the other avoids their own responsibilities. If left unaddressed, this situation will weaken the relationship and may gradually erode the respect and trust between both parties. The lack of responsibility can also lead to the accumulation of resentment and dissatisfaction. This not only affects the relationship but also negatively impacts the emotional well-being of those involved. To resolve this issue, it is essential to acknowledge mistakes, offer a sincere apology, and take concrete actions to correct errors. Encouraging accountability and open communication helps strengthen trust and creates a fair environment where both sides feel respected and valued. Therefore, shared responsibility is not just a fundamental principle to maintain fairness and the stability of the relationship, but it is also a key factor in nurturing the growth and maturity of individual. When everyone in the relationship commits to taking responsibility for their actions and supporting each other, the relationship becomes stronger and more sustainable. We encourage you to pause for a moment and reflect on how you can apply these lessons to your daily life. The important thing is not only to be aware of the issues, but also to take practical steps to create change. Sometimes small gestures, sincere words, or decisions to maintain boundaries are enough to respect and strengthen the relationship. Remember, change begins with us. When we actively change the way we communicate, treat others, and treat ourselves, we are also creating a healthier and more respectful environment. This is a crucial step in building happy and lasting relationships where everyone feels loved, valued, and appreciated. We look forward to hearing your ideas, stories, and experiences. Don't hesitate to share what you have learned or the challenges you are facing. Your contributions not only help our community grow, but also serve as inspiration to others. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next valuable content. Take care of yourself, act with strength, and always maintain faith in your precious relationships. See you in the next video.